Have you ever been hurt by someone so deeply that you couldn't stop thinking about it? Do you ever lie awake at night replaying the pain, wondering why they did this to you? What if I told you that holding on to this pain is actually hurting you more than what they did? Imagine this. You're carrying a heavy stone in your hand. It's painful, but you refuse to let go. The longer you hold it, the more it hurts. The weight increases, your fingers cramp, and soon, you can't even move your hand properly. But here's the truth. No one is forcing you to hold it. You can drop it anytime. Yet, most people choose to hold on to their pain, just like that stone. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. If you're here, it means you're searching for peace, understanding, and a way to move forward. But before we continue, let me ask you something. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. If you're finding this helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It takes just a second, but it helps us bring more life-changing insights to you. And don't forget, drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's begin. Buddhism teaches that pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. When someone hurts us, we often replay the event in our minds, making the pain last longer than it needs to. But in reality, the moment has already passed. It exists only in memory, yet we keep it alive. Buddha once said, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned." The more we cling to the pain, the more it controls us. But if we can learn to let go, we free ourselves. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or allowing others to hurt us again. It means choosing peace over suffering. It means understanding that pain is like a storm. It will pass if we don't hold on to it. But how do we actually let go? That's what we will explore in the next parts. Stay with us, because what comes next might just change your life forever. Understanding the nature of suffering. Listen closely. Have you ever wondered why pain feels so heavy? Why suffering lingers long after the moment has passed? Why some wounds fade while others never seem to heal? You must understand this. Suffering is not what happens to you. It is how your mind reacts to what happens. Two people can face the same pain, yet one moves on while the other stays trapped. Why? Because suffering is not in the event, it is in the mind. Buddha taught that suffering is a part of life. No one escapes it. Not the rich, not the powerful, not even the wise. But here's the secret. Suffering is not permanent. It is not a prison. It is a cloud passing in the sky. And like all clouds, it will drift away if you do not chase it. Why do we suffer? Imagine you are walking barefoot and you step on a thorn. There is instant pain. But what if, instead of removing the thorn, you press on it? What if you keep touching it, complaining about it, showing it to others? The pain grows. It spreads. It controls you. This is what the mind does. The first pain is real, the betrayal, the insult, the loss. But the suffering? That is when the mind refuses to let go. It clings to the pain, feeds it, makes it bigger than it truly is. Now, tell me, if fire burns your hand, do you hold on to it? No, you pull away. Then why do you hold on to suffering? The truth of impermanence. Nothing stays the same. Not joy, not sorrow, not life itself. Everything changes, flows, moves like a river. But most people try to freeze the river. They try to hold on to moments, to people, to feelings. That is why they suffer. Think of a flower. It blooms, it fades, it falls. Would you cry because it does not last forever? Or would you enjoy its beauty while it is here? Your pain is the same. It comes, it goes. If you see this clearly, suffering loses its power over you. The two arrows of pain. Buddha spoke of two arrows. The first arrow is life. It strikes all of us. Pain, loss, difficulties. No one avoids this. But the second arrow? That is self-inflicted. That is the suffering we create by holding on to the pain. Someone insults you. That is the first arrow. You feel hurt. But then, you replay it in your mind. You feel anger. You seek revenge. You tell the story again and again. This is the second arrow. You shoot yourself with it over and over. So I ask you, why would you do this to yourself? The first arrow is not in your control, but the second one? That is your choice. Observing pain instead of becoming it. Here is the way out. When pain comes, do not fight it. Do not feed it. Simply watch it. Observe it as if you are watching clouds in the sky. A thought arises, I was betrayed. Watch it. Do not hold on to it. Let it pass. A feeling arises, I am angry. Notice it, but do not become it. Like a visitor at your door, pain will come and go. If you do not invite it inside, it cannot stay. The path to freedom. Suffering is real, but it is not who you are. It is not your identity. It is not your home. Remember this, nothing lasts forever. Not joy, not sorrow, not even you. Everything flows. Everything changes. When you accept this, suffering loses its grip. So, I ask you again, will you keep holding on to the thorn, or will you let it go? The choice is yours. The illusion of the self and ego. Sit down, take a deep breath, and listen carefully. There is something you need to understand, something that could free you from suffering, the pain you feel, the anger that burns inside you, the endless thoughts of why did they do this to me? All of it comes from one thing, your ego. Think about this. Who are you? Your name? Your body? Your thoughts? If I asked you to describe yourself, you might say, I am a kind person, or I am someone who deserves respect. But who told you this? Where did these ideas come from? The truth is, the self that you believe in, the one that feels hurt, insulted, or disrespected, is not real. It is a collection of thoughts, memories, and labels that your mind has created. And this illusion of the self is what causes most of your suffering. Let's imagine something simple. You're walking down the street, and a stranger suddenly yells at you. They call you a fool. Now, how do you react? Most people get angry. They think, how dare they say that to me? But wait, who is this me that feels attacked? If a tree falls in the forest, does it feel insulted? If the wind blows and whispers something unkind, does the mountain get angry? No, because they do not have an ego. But you, because you believe in a fixed identity, you feel the need to defend it. This is where Buddhism shows us a different way. It teaches that the self is like a flowing river, always changing, never fixed. What you were yesterday is not what you are today. Then what you are today will not be what you are tomorrow. The problem begins when we try to hold on to something that is always changing. Think about when someone praises you. They say, you are so intelligent. It feels good, doesn't it? But what happens when someone criticizes you? It hurts. Why? Because your ego attaches to the praise and wants to keep it forever. But when criticism comes, the ego fights back. This is suffering. Now, let's go even deeper. Imagine you are holding a cup. You call it your cup. It belongs to you. But what if the cup breaks? Do you feel sad? Why? Because your mind attached itself to the cup as part of your life. But did the cup ever really belong to you? Was it ever truly a part of you? The same thing happens in relationships. When someone you love hurts you, it feels personal. But in reality, they are just acting based on their own mind, their own emotions, their own suffering. Their words and actions have nothing to do with who you really are. When you understand this deeply, something amazing happens. You stop taking things personally. Someone insults you? It's just words, like leaves falling from a tree. Someone praises you? That's just words too. You remain steady, like the mountain. Buddhism teaches us to see life as a passing dream. Nothing is permanent. Nothing truly belongs to us. Not even this idea of me. When you let go of the illusion of self, you let go of suffering. But how do you actually do this? Start by observing your thoughts. The next time someone says something hurtful, pause. Don't react. Just observe. Notice how your mind wants to defend itself. See how your ego rises, like a wave in the ocean, and then let it pass. Realize this. If you stop believing in the fixed self, no one can truly hurt you. Because there is no you to hurt. There is just awareness, just presence, just peace. This is the path to true freedom. Let go of the illusion. Let go of the ego. And see what happens. Practicing non-attachment to heal. Sit down. Take a deep breath. Let go of everything for a moment. Your thoughts, your worries, your past. Just breathe. Do you feel that? That stillness? That is freedom. That is peace. But why does peace feel so rare? Why do we hold on to things that hurt us? Someone said something cruel. We carry it for years. We lost something dear. We never let it go. We attach ourselves to people, things, words, and emotions as if they are a part of us. And when they are gone, we suffer. Buddha once said, "You only lose what you cling to." Think about that. If you don't cling, you don't lose. If you don't hold on, you don't suffer. But attachment is tricky. It disguises itself as love, as loyalty, as meaning. It whispers, if you let go, you will have nothing. But that is a lie. In truth, the more you let go, the more you gain. You gain peace. You gain freedom. You gain yourself. Imagine holding a rope tightly. The harder you grip, the more it burns your hands. But the moment you loosen your grip, the pain disappears. The rope is still there, but it no longer hurts you. That is non-attachment. That is healing. People think non-attachment means not caring. That is not true. It means caring without clinging, loving without controlling, experiencing without fearing loss. It is the art of being fully present, of embracing life as it is, without demanding that it should be different. Think about a flowing river. It never stops, never holds on. It moves freely, embracing every turn, every stone, every fall. It does not resist. And because of that, it never suffers. We, too, can be like the river. When someone hurts you, do not cling to their words. Words are like wind. Here one moment, gone the next. When life changes, do not fight it. Change is like the seasons. It will come whether you resist or not. When something is taken from you, do not mourn forever. Loss is like a passing cloud. It does not stay, and neither should your pain. Non-attachment does not mean you stop feeling. It means you feel fully, but you do not let those feelings own you. You acknowledge them, honor them, and then let them pass. Just like a wave rises and falls, emotions come and go. You are the ocean, not the wave. You are the sky, not the passing cloud. Look at your life. What are you holding on to? A grudge? A regret? A love that is no longer there? Ask yourself, is this helping me? Is this bringing me peace? If not, then why hold on to it? A wise monk was once carrying a heavy sack of rice. A young man asked, "Master, why are you carrying that?" The monk smiled and said, "I don't know. I suppose I forgot to put it down." Then he let it go. The rice spilled, and the monk laughed. "Ah," he said, "that feels better. What are you carrying that you no longer need? Put it down. Let it go. Feel the lightness. Someone insulted you? Let it go. Their words belong to them, not to you. Someone left you? Let them go. Their journey is not yours to control. Something did not go as planned? Let it go. Life does not follow a script, and that is its beauty. You cannot control the waves, but you can learn to surf. You cannot stop the wind, but you can adjust your sail. You cannot hold on to the past, but you can embrace the present. Healing begins the moment you stop clinging. Pain loses power when you stop feeding it. Freedom comes when you let go. Take a breath. Feel the space inside you, the lightness. That is non-attachment. That is peace. That is true healing. The art of forgiveness in Buddhism. You have been hurt. Someone has done something unfair, something painful. Maybe they lied to you, betrayed you, or treated you in a way you never expected. And now, the pain sits in your heart like a heavy stone. You try to move forward, but that weight pulls you back. The anger, the sadness, it all lingers. But let me ask you, who is truly suffering? The one who hurt you, or you? The one carrying this pain every single day? Buddhism teaches us something powerful. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. But here's the truth. The poison only harms you. The other person has moved on. Maybe they don't even realize how much they've hurt you. But you feel it every single day. You carry it like a burning coal in your hand, hoping it will burn them. But the fire only hurts you. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Why should I forgive? They don't deserve it. And you're right. Maybe they don't. Maybe what they did was wrong. Maybe they will never apologize. But here's the secret. Forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean saying what they did was okay. It doesn't mean allowing them back into your life. It simply means releasing yourself from the pain. It means letting go of the fire inside you that is only burning you. Imagine you are carrying a heavy bag filled with rocks. Every grudge, every resentment is another rock. And every day, you carry this bag everywhere you go. It slows you down. It makes every step harder. And yet, you refuse to put it down. But why? The weight is optional. You can drop the bag at any moment. But something inside you holds on. So many people live this way, carrying their pain, their anger, their resentment for years. But tell me, does holding on to it change the past? Does it undo what happened? Does it bring peace? No, it only makes life harder. Forgiveness is the act of putting down the bag. It is the moment you decide, I will not let this control me anymore. And when you do, you feel lighter. You feel free. But how do you forgive? How do you let go of something that has lived inside you for so long? The first step is understanding. People hurt others because they are in pain themselves. A person who lies, betrays, or acts cruelly does not do so from a place of peace. They do so from their own suffering, their own confusion. Think of a dog who has been mistreated all its life. It growls, it bites, not because it is evil, but because it has known nothing but pain. This does not excuse their actions, but it helps you see the truth. They are lost in their own suffering. And once you see this, something changes. You stop taking their actions so personally. You stop seeing them as an enemy and start seeing them as a person trapped in their own darkness. The second step is acceptance. What happened, happened. No amount of anger, resentment, or wishing will change the past. The only question is, will you let it control your future? Will you let one painful moment decide the rest of your life? The third step is release. This does not mean you have to tell them you forgive them. Forgiveness is not about words. It is about what happens inside you. It is a decision, a moment where you say, I choose peace. I choose freedom. I choose to let go. And when you do this, something incredible happens. The pain that felt so heavy, it begins to fade. The anger that controlled you, it loses its power. And suddenly, you feel something you may not have felt in a long time, peace. Buddhism teaches that true power is not in control over others, but in control over yourself. When you forgive, you take back your power. You stop letting the past control your emotions. You stop letting someone else's actions decide your happiness. But I know, it's not easy. Some wounds feel too deep. Some pains feel too fresh. But let me tell you this. There is nothing heavier than an unforgiving heart. And there is nothing lighter than a heart that has let go. Do not wait for an apology that may never come. Do not wait for the other person to change. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. And once you give it, you will understand. It was never about them. It was always about you. So ask yourself, do you want to carry this weight for another year? Another 5 years? Or do you want to put it down today? The choice is yours. The role of karma and cause and effect. Sit with me for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, tell me, have you ever wondered why some people seem to suffer more than others? Why some people hurt us and walk away without consequences, while others struggle endlessly? Does life feel unfair sometimes? If so, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you may change how you see everything. Karma is not punishment. It is not some mystical force deciding who wins and who loses. Karma is simply cause and effect. Nothing more, nothing less. Every action you take, every word you speak, every thought you carry creates a ripple. That ripple moves through life, shaping your experiences in ways you may not even realize. Imagine throwing a stone into a lake. The ripples spread outward, touching everything in their path. Now, imagine throwing 100 stones, 1,000 stones, each one creating new ripples that collide, shift, and change the water's surface. This is karma. Every action sends energy into the world, and that energy always comes back, though not always in the way we expect. People often ask, but why do bad people seem to have good lives? Why do they get away with hurting others? But do they really? Look deeper. What looks like success on the surface may hide deep suffering underneath. A person who builds a life on lies, greed, or cruelty may appear strong, but inside, they are always running. running from the consequences they know will come. You see, karma is not instant. It moves like the wind, unseen but always present. Sometimes, the effects of our actions take years to return. Sometimes, they appear in ways we don't recognize. But nothing, I repeat, nothing is ever forgotten. The universe does not lose balance. If someone has hurt you, their actions have set something in motion. You do not need to seek revenge, because karma is already at work. Now, let me ask you, have you ever been kind to someone, expecting nothing in return, and later, kindness found its way back to you when you needed it most? That is karma too. It is not about punishment, but balance. It is not about making people suffer, but allowing them to learn. So what should you do when someone hurts you? You have two choices. You can respond with anger, send negative energy into the world, and create more suffering for yourself. Or, you can let go, trust that karma will do its work, and walk away in peace. Walking away does not mean weakness. It does not mean allowing people to hurt you again. It means understanding that life is a circle. What they give, they will receive. What you give, you will receive. If you plant seeds of anger, you will grow a life filled with storms. If you plant seeds of peace, you will harvest something unshakable. There was once a man who insulted the Buddha, shouting and cursing at him. But the Buddha only smiled. The man grew frustrated and asked, "Why do you not react? Do my words mean nothing to you?" The Buddha replied, "If someone offers you a gift, but you refuse to take it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man thought for a moment. "To the giver," he said. The Buddha nodded. "Then why should I accept your anger?" Do you see? When someone harms you, they are offering you a gift of pain. You do not have to accept it. You can leave it with them and walk away free. This is karma. It is not about controlling others. It is about controlling yourself. It is about choosing what energy you put into the world, because that is the energy that will return to you. If you let go of hatred, peace will find you. If you let go of revenge, happiness will come. If you trust in karma, life will unfold exactly as it should. So, the next time someone hurts you, remember, there is no need to fight. The universe is already watching. Let karma do what karma does best. Finding inner peace through mindfulness. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in. Feel the air fill your lungs. Breathe out. Let everything go. Right now, in this very moment, nothing else exists. Not the past, not the future, only this breath. This is mindfulness. This is the key to inner peace. But tell me, when was the last time you were truly present? Not thinking about yesterday, not worrying about tomorrow, just fully here? Most people live in their minds, trapped in endless thoughts. They eat without tasting, walk without noticing, listen without hearing. Their bodies are here, but their minds are somewhere else. This is why they suffer. This is why peace feels so far away. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from attachment, not just to people or things, but to thoughts, emotions, and the constant chatter of the mind. The past haunts us, the future worries us, and we forget the only thing that is real, this moment. But the good news? You don't need anything special to find peace. You don't need to escape to a mountain or sit in meditation for hours. Peace is already here. You just need to notice it. Imagine you're drinking tea. If your mind is elsewhere, thinking about your problems, scrolling on your phone, you don't taste it. But if you drink with awareness, you feel the warmth, the aroma, the flavor. That small moment becomes peaceful, even beautiful. Now, imagine bringing this awareness to everything. Eating, walking, working, even breathing. Life itself becomes a meditation. One of the greatest Zen masters once said, "When walking, walk. When eating, eat." It sounds simple, yet most people don't do it. They eat while watching TV, walk while thinking about work, listen while planning what to say next. They are everywhere except here. And so, they miss life. But mindfulness is not just about being present. It's about seeing things as they truly are. When you are mindful, you observe your emotions instead of becoming them. If anger arises, you don't react, you watch it. You see how it comes, how it feels, how it fades. You realize that you are not your anger. You are not your sadness, your stress, your fear. These are just passing clouds in the sky of your mind. And when you stop identifying with them, they lose their power over you. Think about it. Has stress ever solved anything? Has overthinking ever changed the past? Has worrying ever controlled the future? No. But still, people get lost in these thoughts. They let them steal their peace. But the truth is, thoughts are just thoughts. They are not reality. The moment you see this, you become free. Try this. Right now, feel your breath. Just for a few seconds. Feel the air moving in. Feel it moving out. Nothing else. No past, no future. Just this breath. This is mindfulness. This is peace. And you can return to it anytime, anywhere. The mind is like a wild horse, always running. If you don't train it, it will drag you in every direction. But if you guide it, if you bring it back to this moment, it becomes your greatest ally. And the secret is this. Peace is not something you find outside. It is something you create inside. So, ask yourself, are you truly living, or just existing? Are you here, or lost in thought? Right now, this moment, this breath, this is your life. Don't let it slip away. Overcoming anger with compassion. Anger. It rises like fire, fast and fierce. It takes control before we even realize it. Someone says something cruel, and suddenly, we feel the heat inside. Our heart beats faster, our mind fills with rage, and before we know it, we say or do something we regret. Does this sound familiar? Anger feels powerful. It gives us a sense of control, a way to fight back against what we think is unfair. But in reality, anger is a thief. It steals our peace, our clarity, our happiness. When we hold on to anger, we suffer. Not the person who hurt us. Have you ever noticed that? The one who caused the pain moves on, but we stay trapped in it. Why do we do this to ourselves? Buddha once said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." Think about that for a moment. Anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. But the truth is, it's us who feel the pain. The tension, the frustration, the stress. It all builds up inside. Then what do we get from it? Nothing but suffering. So what is the way out? Compassion. Yes, compassion. It sounds strange, doesn't it? Why should we feel kindness towards someone who hurt us? But listen carefully. Compassion is not about them, it's about you. It is the key that unlocks the prison of anger. When we replace anger with understanding, something incredible happens. We become free. Imagine a small child throwing a tantrum, kicking, screaming, and crying. Do we get angry at the child? No. We understand that they don't know any better. We see their frustration, and instead of hating them, we feel patience. Now, what if we looked at others in the same way? People who hurt us are often acting out of their own pain, their own ignorance, their own suffering. They are just like that child, reacting, not thinking. This doesn't mean we let people walk all over us. No, not at all. It means we choose not to carry their negativity inside us. We don't let their actions control our emotions. When someone throws a burning torch at you, you have two choices: catch it and burn yourself, or step aside and let it fall. Most people catch it, but the wise? They step aside. But how do we do this? How do we stop anger from taking over? The first step is awareness. The moment you feel anger rising, pause. Just pause. Take a deep breath. Feel the heat inside you, but don't act on it. Watch it like a cloud passing through the sky. In that small moment, you take back control. The anger no longer owns you. The second step is understanding. Ask yourself, why is this person acting this way? What pain are they carrying? What fear is inside them? When we see others not as enemies, but as humans struggling with their own battles, our anger begins to fade. And the third step? Let go. Just let go. Anger is a heavy weight. The longer you carry it, the more it drains you. But the moment you drop it, you feel light, free, peaceful. It's like unclenching your fist after holding it tight for too long. That relief, that freedom, that is the power of compassion. Some will say, but they don't deserve my compassion. Maybe they don't. But do you deserve to suffer because of them? Do you deserve to lose your peace over their mistakes? No. Compassion is not a gift you give them. It's a gift you give yourself. Think about the last time you were really angry. Did it help you? Did it fix the situation? Or did it just make you feel worse? We often think anger gives us power, but true power comes from control over our own emotions. A calm mind is stronger than any outburst. A steady heart is more powerful than a storm of rage. Buddha once told a story about a man who came to him, shouting in anger. Instead of reacting, Buddha simply sat in silence. After a while, the man grew tired and asked, "Why aren't you responding? Why don't you say something?" Buddha smiled and said, "If someone offers you a gift, but you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man thought and replied, "To the giver." Buddha nodded and said, "I do not accept your anger. It remains with you." This is the secret. You don't have to accept the anger others give you. You can leave it with them. You can walk away, unbothered, untouched. This is the strength of wisdom, the power of a calm mind. So next time someone hurts you, remember this: anger is not your only option. You can choose peace, choose understanding, choose freedom. Let others carry their own storms. You can walk in the sun. The power of silence and reflection. Silence. Have you ever truly listened to it? Not the absence of noise, but the deep, calming presence of silence itself? In a world filled with endless talking, notifications, and distractions, silence is rare. But what if I told you that silence holds the power to heal, to transform, to free you from the weight of your pain? When someone hurts you, what do? Most people react instantly. They argue, defend, explain, or seek revenge. The mind becomes a battlefield, filled with anger and pain. But what if, instead of reacting, you simply paused? What if, instead of speaking, you sat with the silence? There is an old Zen story about a man who insulted the Buddha. He shouted at him, cursed him, tried to provoke him, but Buddha simply sat there, silent, unmoved. After some time, the man became confused. "Why don't you respond?" he asked. Buddha smiled and said, "If someone offers you a gift, but you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man thought for a moment and replied, "To the one who offered it." Buddha nodded. The same is true with anger. If I do not accept it, it remains with you. This is the power of silence. When you do not react, when you do not accept the negativity thrown at you, it stays with the one who sent it. You are free. But this is not just about ignoring people. Silence is not about avoiding words. It is about understanding their weight. It is about choosing when to speak and when to let go. Think about it. How many times have you said something in anger and regretted it later? How many times has a single word caused a fight, hurt a loved one, or made things worse? Words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. They create ripples, affecting not just others, but yourself as well. The next time someone hurts you, try this. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say nothing. Feel the silence. Let it settle. Watch your emotions like clouds passing in the sky. You will notice something incredible. The pain loses its grip on you. The mind, which was ready to explode, begins to calm down. And in that silence, a new wisdom arises. Silence is not weakness. It is not about allowing others to walk over you. It is strength, patience, and control. It is the power to decide when to speak and when to remain still. The greatest wisdom is often found in quiet moments, not in loud arguments. Have you ever sat alone, in complete silence, and just observed your thoughts? Try it. Close your eyes. Listen, not to the world outside, but to the world within. You will hear many voices, some angry, some sad, some fearful. But if you sit long enough, they will all fade. And beneath them, you will find something deeper, a stillness, a space where peace exists. This is why monks spend years in silence, not because they have nothing to say, but because they have discovered the power of not saying. In silence, they see clearly. They understand that most words are just reactions, driven by emotions. But true wisdom comes when the mind is still. Imagine 2 cups of water. One is constantly shaken, disturbed, never still. The water inside is cloudy, unclear. The other cup is placed on a table, left untouched. Slowly, the dirt settles, and the water becomes crystal clear. Your mind is the same. If it is always reacting, always speaking, always moving, it remains cloudy. But if you let it settle, it becomes clear. And in that clarity, you see things as they truly are. Have you ever noticed that the loudest people are often the most restless? They speak, not because they have wisdom, but because they are uncomfortable with silence. They need noise to distract them from their own thoughts. But those who are truly wise speak less, and when they do, their words carry weight. So the next time someone tries to hurt you, remember this: you don't always have to respond. You don't have to argue, explain, or prove yourself. Sometimes, the most powerful response is silence. Let them say what they want. Let them throw their words like stones. If you do not pick them up, they cannot harm you. Silence is not just the absence of noise. It is a state of mind. It is the space where healing happens, where wisdom grows, where true strength is found. So embrace it, learn from it, and watch how it transforms your life. The practice of loving kindness, metta meditation. Sit with me for a moment. Close your eyes. Breathe in and out. Imagine a warm light filling your chest, spreading through your body. This light is kindness. It is love. Not the love that clings, not the love that expects, but pure, boundless love. One that expects nothing in return. Now, let me ask you, how often do you wish for others to be happy? Not just your loved ones, but strangers? Even those who have hurt you. It's easy to love those who treat us well. But what about those who don't? Buddhism teaches us metta, the practice of loving kindness. It is a way to train the heart, to make it vast like the sky, unshaken by the storms of life. You see, when someone hurts us, our first reaction is often anger or pain. We build walls inside, closing our hearts to protect ourselves. But do these walls truly protect us? Or do they trap us in our own suffering? Think about it. When you hold on to resentment, who suffers? The other person moves on, unaware of the storm in your heart. But you carry it everywhere, letting it weigh you down. What if, instead of closing your heart, you could open it? Not for them, but for yourself. Loving kindness is not weakness. It is not about allowing people to walk over you. It is about freeing yourself from hatred. It is about choosing peace, no matter what happens. It is about realizing that no matter how much pain someone brings into your life, you do not have to let it shape you. Try this. Think of someone you love deeply. Picture their face. Now, silently say in your mind, "May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace." Feels easy, doesn't it? Now, think of a stranger. Maybe the person who served you coffee today, or someone you passed on the street. Say the same words for them. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace. Now comes the hardest part. Think of someone who has hurt you. Someone who made you angry, who disappointed you, who broke your trust. Your heart might resist. Your mind might say, they don't deserve kindness. But kindness is not about what others deserve. It is about who you want to be. Take a deep breath. Slowly, gently, say the same words for them. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you find peace. Notice what happens inside you. Maybe a part of you still clings to the pain. That's okay. This is not about forcing yourself to forgive. It is about loosening the grip, one breath at a time. A wise monk once said, "Hatred never ends by hatred, but by love alone." Imagine two people fighting in the dark, each holding a torch. One, in anger, blows out the other's flame. What happens? The darkness grows. But if, instead of blowing out the flame, they used it to light another, the light would spread. This is the power of loving kindness. You might think, but what if I don't feel kind? That's okay. Metta is not about feeling kind all the time. It is about practicing kindness even when you don't feel like it. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. And here's something beautiful. When you send out loving kindness, it doesn't just affect others. It changes you. Scientists have found that practicing metta meditation can lower stress, reduce anxiety, and even improve physical health. But more than that, it makes your heart lighter. It makes life feel softer. Imagine walking through life without the weight of resentment. Imagine waking up in the morning without anger from yesterday. Imagine being so full of kindness that no one's cruelty can shake you. This is not just a dream. It is possible. The mind is like a garden. If you water the seeds of kindness, they will grow. If you nurture thoughts of peace, they will bloom. But if you feed anger, if you let hatred take root, it will spread like weeds, choking your happiness. So today, choose what to plant. Start small. Maybe send a silent wish of happiness to someone you love. Then to a stranger. Then, one day when you're ready, to someone who hurt you. You don't have to force it. Just open the door, even a little. Let the light in. Because in the end, loving kindness is not about changing others. It is about changing yourself. And when you change, the world around you changes too. Transforming pain into wisdom. You have carried pain for so long. It has shaped you, changed you, and at times even broken you. But what if I told you that your pain is not just a burden? What if I told you that hidden within it is something far greater? Wisdom, strength, and transformation. Pain is like fire. It can burn and destroy, or it can purify and forge something stronger. When a sword is made, the metal is placed in fire. The heat is intense, unbearable. But without it, the blade would remain weak, easily broken. In the same way, life's suffering is the fire that forges the soul. The question is, will you let it break you, or will you let it refine you? Think about the hardest moments of your life. The times when you felt lost, betrayed, or completely alone. At that moment, it seemed impossible to bear. But now, looking back, did it not teach you something? Did it not make you see the world differently? Did it not make you stronger? Suffering is the greatest teacher, but only if you are willing to learn. Most people fight pain. They resist it, curse it, and ask, why me? But pain does not answer. It only stays, growing heavier the more you resist. The truth is, the moment you stop fighting it, the moment you sit with it, observe it, and accept it, that is when pain begins to transform. Buddha once said, no mud, no lotus. The lotus is a beautiful flower, but it only grows in muddy waters. Without the mud, there is no lotus. Without suffering, there is no wisdom. The very things you wish had never happened, the wounds you wish you could erase, those are the things that shape the deepest parts of you. But transformation is a choice. Pain itself does not make you wiser. Pain can make people bitter, angry, and lost. Some carry their suffering like a badge, holding on to it as if it defines them. Others use it as fuel, as a lesson, as a path to understanding. The difference is not the pain itself, it is how you choose to see it. A person who has been betrayed learns to see beyond words. They learn the value of trust in the weight of honesty. A person who has lost everything understands impermanence and gratitude. A person who has suffered heartbreak discovers the depth of their own heart. The pain did not destroy them, it revealed them. But how do you turn pain into wisdom? You must sit with it, without fear, without running. Observe it like a passing storm. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can this teach me? Every experience holds a lesson, but only if you are willing to see it. Pain teaches patience, because suffering cannot be rushed. It teaches strength, because endurance builds resilience. It teaches compassion, because those who have suffered deeply understand the suffering of others. Some of the kindest souls, the wisest teachers, and the most peaceful minds have walked through the darkest pain. They did not avoid it. They embraced it, learned from it, and emerged transformed. But transformation requires letting go. Many people hold on to their pain, wearing it like armor. They believe it protects them from future suffering. But what it really does is keep them trapped. Imagine a person clinging to a burning rope. They refuse to let go, thinking it gives them security, but in reality, it is only hurting them more. Wisdom is knowing when to hold on and when to release. The past is unchangeable. No amount of regret or anger can rewrite what has already happened. But what you do now, in this moment, is in your hands. Will you let pain chain you to the past, or will you use it to build your future? Look at nature. A tree that has faced strong winds develops deeper roots. A river that has carved through stone flows even stronger. The challenges in life are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to shape you, to test you, to show you who you truly are. And now, you have a choice. You can continue carrying your pain, letting it weigh you down, letting it control your thoughts. Or you can take a deep breath, look at it with new eyes, and see the wisdom within it. The pain is real, the past is real, but so is the power within you to rise above it. What will you choose? A new path forward, embracing true freedom. You have come a long way. You have listened, reflected, and understood. But now, I must ask you, are you ready to let go? Truly let go? Or will you keep carrying the weight of your past, the burden of your pain? Most people say they want peace, but when the time comes to release their suffering, they hesitate. They grip their pain as if it defines them, as if without it, they will be empty. But tell me, what has this pain given you? Has it brought you happiness? Has it made your life better? Or has it only made you suffer? Let me tell you a story. There was once a traveler who carried a heavy bag on his back. Day after day, he walked, feeling exhausted, but he never put the bag down. One day, he met a wise man who asked, "What's inside this bag?" The traveler paused. He realized he didn't even know. He had been carrying it for so long that he never checked. When he opened it, he found nothing but stones. Useless, heavy stones. The wise man smiled and said, "If you let go, your journey will be lighter." The traveler hesitated. He had carried this weight for so long, it had become part of him. But finally, he took a deep breath and let it go. Instantly, he felt free, lighter, like he could finally move forward. Are you carrying stones? Pain from the past? Regret? Anger? Ask yourself, why are you holding on? And more importantly, are you ready to set it down? Buddhism teaches that freedom does not come from controlling the outside world. It comes from mastering the inside. The moment you stop clinging, the moment you stop identifying with your pain, you become free. People will hurt you. That is life. Some will betray you. Some will lie to you. Some will walk away when you need them the most. But remember this, your suffering is not caused by them. It is caused by your own attachment to what they did. When you keep thinking about the past, you are letting ghosts control your present. A wise person does not chase ghosts. A wise person lives here, now. If someone hurt you, they have already taken enough from you. Do not let them take your peace too. Do not let them live rent-free in your mind. Why give them that power? Let me ask you, what happens to a flame when there is no more fuel? It dies. The same is true for pain. If you stop feeding it with your thoughts, it will fade away. But if you keep holding on, it will keep burning you. Many people think letting go is weakness, that if they forgive, it means the other person won. But think deeply. Who is really winning? The one who is still angry? Or the one who has moved on, living in peace? Letting go is not about them. It is about you. Your heart deserves peace. Your mind deserves clarity. Your life deserves freedom. But only you can give yourself that gift. Maybe you are thinking, but how do I let go? I don't know how. Here's the truth. It is not something you do with force. It is something you allow. Like a leaf floating down a river, not resisting, not clinging, just flowing. Right now, take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Imagine the pain inside you as a cloud. It is there, but it is not solid. Watch it drift. Do not fight it. Do not chase it. Just let it pass. Every moment, you have a choice. Hold on, or release. Suffer, or be free. You are not the past. You are not your pain. You are not what they did to you. You are something greater, something deeper. A vast sky, not the passing storms. A still lake, not the ripples. Freedom is not in the future. It is not something you will find one day. It is here. Now, the only question is, will you take it? Letting go. The path to ultimate freedom. So, you have reached the end of the lesson, but the path does not end here. You see, wisdom is not a destination. It is a way of moving through life. You have learned how to let go, how to find peace, how to free yourself from suffering. But now, you must ask yourself, what comes next? Because the real journey begins after the lesson is over. The real test comes when life throws challenges at you once again. Will you apply what you have learned? Will you walk the path, even when it is difficult? If you're truly ready, then listen carefully. Because what I will share now is beyond what you have heard before. It is the deeper layer, the wisdom that takes you from simply understanding to truly becoming. Let us begin. 1. The illusion of control. One of the greatest sources of suffering is the illusion of control. Think about it. Why do we hold on to pain? Why do we replay the past? Why do we struggle to move on from what others have done to us? Because deep down, we believe that if we think about it enough, if we hold on tightly, we can somehow change it. But we cannot. The past is gone. The actions of others are beyond our reach. The only thing we ever truly control is ourselves, our thoughts, our reactions, our choices. A river does not try to control the rocks in its path. It simply flows around them, adapting, moving forward. Be like the river. Let life move through you without resistance. Accept what is, because the moment you stop fighting what you cannot change, you will feel a peace you have never known before. 2. The power of now. Many people believe that healing is something that happens in the future. They say, one day, I will be free from this pain. One day, I will forgive. One day, I will be happy. But one day is an illusion. The only time you can ever be free is now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Notice this moment. Right now, in this very second. Where is your pain? It exists only in memory, only in thought. If you stop feeding it, it disappears. The mind is like a fire. Whatever you feed it, grows. If you keep feeding it pain, it will burn endlessly. But if you stop adding fuel, the fire dies out on its own. So the question is, what are you feeding your mind? Choose carefully, because your peace depends on it. 3. The wisdom of silence. The world is full of noise. People talk, argue, shout. Everyone wants to be heard, to prove something, to defend themselves. But the wisest people understand something most never do. True power lies in silence. When someone hurts you, the mind immediately wants to react. It wants to fight back, to justify, to explain, to seek revenge. But silence is stronger than words, because silence means you are no longer controlled. Silence is not weakness, it is mastery. It is knowing that you do not need to explain yourself to anyone, that the truth exists whether or not others see it, that you do not need to react to every insult, every attack, every injustice. Because in the end, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. So when someone tries to bring chaos into your mind, simply breathe. Stay silent. Let them reveal themselves, while you remain untouchable. 4. The art of emptying your mind. A full cup cannot hold more water. A cluttered mind cannot hold peace. Most people walk through life with a mind full of noise, past regrets, future worries, endless distractions. And then they wonder why they feel restless, anxious, lost. But peace is not something you find. It is something you create by emptying the unnecessary. Each day, take a moment to sit in stillness. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let every thought come and go, without holding on to it. Do this often enough, and soon you will notice something incredible. The mind that was once full of noise becomes clear. The emotions that once controlled you become distant. And in their place, you find something you never knew you were missing. Silence. True silence. The kind that is not empty, but full of awareness. That is where wisdom begins. 5. The strength of a gentle heart. The world teaches us that strength means being unbreakable, untouchable, hardened. But the greatest strength is not in hardness, it is in gentleness. A tree that does not bend in the storm will break, but one that is flexible, that moves with the wind, will stand tall long after the storm has passed. In the same way, do not close your heart just because someone hurt you. Do not become cold just because the world can be cruel. Stay open, stay kind, stay soft, because it is easy to be bitter. It is easy to be angry, but to remain kind, to love despite the pain, to keep your heart open when the world tells you to shut it, that is true strength. That is the way of the wise. 6. The endless path of growth. And finally, remember this, there is no end to this journey. There will always be more to learn, more to let go of, more to awaken to. The moment you think you have mastered life, life will show you how much more there is to understand. So do not seek an end. Seek continuous growth. Some days, you will feel free. Other days, you may fall back into old patterns. That is okay. The key is to always return to the path. Do not judge your progress. Simply keep going, step by step, moment by moment, choice by choice. And one day, without even realizing it, you will look back and see. You are no longer the person you once were. You have become something greater. You have become free. The final words. Now, I have shared all that I can. The rest is up to you. Will you continue to suffer? Or will you let go? Will you stay trapped in the past? Or will you embrace the present? The path is before you. Now walk it,